Hi, my name is Kathleen, and I'm going to quickly go over how I created my budget and my charts. The first thing I did was create a visually pleasing type of budget grid, if you will, to follow. In column A, I listed all of the months of the year, and then each column got a specific expense. As you can see, B is income, C is rent, D is utilities, etc., etc. My expenses every month are pretty much the same. My rent is $1,500, my utilities are about $100, credit cards $500, so on and so forth. So to total these expenses out, I did take the easy route. I actually highlighted all of my expenses, the entire block of expenses. Column N was initially blank, so what I did was include that as a blank column. See, I pulled it over. So I highlighted all of the data, pulled it over to what was a blank column, and I hit the option for auto sum on the toolbar. That gave me a sum of all of my expenses for each month. As you can see here, I labeled the column as total expenses, so now I'm aware of my total expenses for the month. For what is left over, also known as my net income, I used a formula. So this was, I labeled a column as net income, and I used, like I said, the formula. So what I hit here was, I'll delete it now, but it's equals, as we know, for all calculations. And my first, what am I saying? So income, so it's B2, right? That's the first column that I want to subtract to find the difference. So my income is B2, 4,000, minus my total expenses is N2. See there, it highlighted, and then you hit enter and you got your net income. So I did use a formula for those calculations, and I did the same thing for the entire grid each month. So some of the numbers are different. Annually, I did want this data just in case I needed it, which I actually did need it for one of my charts. So to get my annual calculations here, I pulled income down to a blank row, and I hit auto sum, and I did the same for all of the columns. You can actually do it all across the board here to kind of just get a feel for what the annual sums are. That's an easier way to do it. Hit sum and it will pull all of your stuff at the bottom. To make my chart, the income versus total expenses. So my income, I highlighted income, and then I went over to column N and I hit Control to highlight all of my total expenses. Then I went to Insert and I hovered over the option for column or bar chart, like I'm doing now, and then you get a chart basically. But this is not including my months, so let's get rid of this. Let's do this. So if you highlight all of the months and then go back to total expenses, hit Control, Insert, there we go. So you have to highlight the month and the income, and then the total expenses, and then create the chart, and that will give you all of the data you need. You can click on chart title to change the name, and then hit enter, and that's that. So that's how I did my calculations. How I created one of the charts, okay, it's pretty simple. And then, let's get rid of this. What did I learn about my finances from this budget? The biggest thing I did learn was that I spend a lot of money in credit card bills, which tells me I should probably stop shopping so much and dining out. It's like an average of $100 a week. I could probably cut that down some. And my net income, I cannot account for. I never have that much money at the end of the month, but it must be going somewhere that I'm just not paying attention to. But it's an interesting way to see where my money is going. So it's definitely a useful tool, and I'm happy I learned how to do it. Thanks.